Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. If you're new to the channel, awesome. Welcome. If you're returning, even better. Good to see you back. The first half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, altcoins. Not much has changed, but we'll continue to go over it. We covered Bitcoin 45 minutes yesterday. We've been covering it every day since I started live streaming again, almost 3 full weeks. So after tomorrow will be 3 full weeks of live streaming every day that the market is open. Stock market is open Monday through Friday usually, unless there's a holiday or something like that. So with that, in the second half of the live stream, we'll cover your chart requests. Make sure to put in the right ticker symbol. Make sure to let me know what asset that is. Let me know what asset class that is, because a lot of the ticker symbols kind of overlap with stocks and crypto. So I just want to make sure that the live stream keeps live streaming. Of course, help me, help you, help me with the algorithm. Smash the like button, comment, repost it, share with your family and friends, and let's get rocking and rolling. The thing is, before we get going and talk about this Bitcoin chart, like we always do, right? I don't have any paid sponsors. I don't have any affiliate links that makes money, right? That's by design. See, I do have trust issues, right? I've seen a lot of bad actors out there, especially in the crypto space. So for me to endorse crypto exchange, I don't want to be the next Tom Brady for FTX, right? You only have one name, one reputation, and whatever you think of that, I want to, that's on you. But for me, I want to do my very best to maintain the integrity and all that stuff. So with that said, I don't have any paid sponsorships or affiliate links or anything like that. I'm going to, excuse me, sneeze. So we are going to talk about what I just released on the website real quick. So with that, let's go over here though real fast and let's hit let's see, refresh. Help me, help you, help me. So we go here, smash the like button, hit the repost button, and throw in a quick emoji. Helps me, helps you, helps me. So we got that. Let's go over here and unpin this. Boom. All right, we're good there. Go back on StreamYard. Yeah, so real quick, we got home, come over here, and you've got, it's official. We've released 2 trading bots to the public. The Sharpshooter RSI 3.2, chart below, this chart here. As you can see, Market Sniper Sharpshooter RSI 3.2, and the Sharpshooter candles 4.21. As you can see here, Sharpshooter candles 4.21. So these are showing like lower time frames. NASDAQ on this one. This one I'm showing Bitcoin 5-minute chart to show you that it is versatile, right? It is versatile. But I'm usually swing trading on the higher time frames. But if you were a day trader and say, according to sources that have done studies on this, like Berkeley, after 1 year, I think it's like 97% of day traders lose money. I think it's over like 2 years, 99% lose money. So it's hard to maintain that over time and sustain that. And I always, when I did the recorded coaching, 60 plus hours, I talked about that. I said, yes, you can swing trade or day trade or even scalp. But my own personal opinion was that manually trading yourself swing trading over time will be more profitable than day trading every single day, because you're going to get wore out, right? The emotions kick in. We're not meant to manually day trade every single day or 99%, right? We're not meant to day trade every single day for 10 years, right? Just not made for it. So all this recorded coaching over, that I did 3.5 years ago led me down the rabbit hole of full automation, 3+ years optimized, how it works. You can get into all that. I'm not going to do all that. And I'm rolling it out for $49 a month. The recorded coaching was like 60+ hours. That's no longer on the website. I said it might not be. And that was $79 a month. You got these two indicators, but not the actual strategies themselves. So the two indicators that started it all 3.5 years ago, I've turned those into fully automated trading bots. I added extra filters to help cancel out the noise, be more selective on trades. You can be as selective as you want. And then I added all the position management tools, like take profit, stop loss, trailing stop loss, or all that. So all the frequently asked questions, and it's compatible with several brokers and exchanges. Let's see. Oh, what trading platforms? So you can go over here just real quick. Ninja Trader, TradeStation, Coinbase, Tasty Trade, Tradeovate, Binance, Alpaca, Robinhood, Project X, Trader, blah, 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 right? So it does. So with that capability, it does have options, stocks, crypto, spot. I'm not sure about crypto leverage. Coinbase perpetuals, it does not have that capability through the third-party automation. But futures leverage, it does, right? So all that. So all that. Of course, there's a third-party platform that costs money, but it's like I think the discount code with my discount code, it's like $25 a month. So 49 plus 25, you could be fully automated. If you don't want to spend hours upon hours figuring out how to set up the automation like I did, you could do a 1-hour call, and Alex will jump on a 1-hour video call with you. It's an add-on. It's a one-time fee. Within 1 hour, he could have you set up on TradingView alerts that trigger the third party, and set up the third party, all that, right? Can go in and walk you through, hold your hand step by step, probably done in 45 minutes. And then if you have questions, like 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah. When I set him up on the same system, I charged Alex $1,000. So if I were to jump on the call, this one-time setup fee would be $1,000, right? And just that's my time. But for Alex, it's only $249. So sorry, Alex, you're a younger guy. Your dollar value per hour is less. So you don't need to. It's optional. But if you want to just jump right in, and the first thing I recommend is always, setting it up and paper trading for like 30 days, right? Find some good settings yourself. You can also look at settings that we'll be rolling out. I'll be doing videos on them in the Discord, all that stuff. But I would come up with your own settings or test settings that you've seen from us or people in the Discord, and paper test it. You can set up with 100% full automation paper trading account to test it for 30 days without risking any money whatsoever. Then if it proves your settings are correct, and backtesting results, you could have amazing backtesting results, but it doesn't equal future results, right? So you just have to okay, backtesting results look good. All right, that's step one. Come up with some good settings, backtest it, And here, I'll show you what I'm kind of talking about, right? So you have like the strategy tester, right? That's like step one. Come up with some good settings, strategy test it, see what those are over 7 days, 30 days, 365 days, right? That's step one. And I'll do a longer video on this and put in the Discord, all that stuff. So this is just all brand new that we're rolling it out. So you'll be the first ones. And then it's like, make sure everything's dialed in. It's different style capabilities, noise filter. You can do trading session filter, only take trades between a certain time frame, stop loss, take profit, trailing stop loss, all that stuff. You could scale in. So if you're doing like micro contracts on futures, you could scale in and have multiple take profits. That's a whole nother level, right? So all that's included for $49. There's no way it's going to stay $49, right? No way. And I may or may not release a premium trading bot as well. I have like 10 beta testers on it. And I have a new one that I may or may not roll out to them in the near future, but that's considerably more money. I was only charging them $99, but if I roll this new one out, it's going to be at least $99 or more, some sort of premium. But I'm live testing it on a real account, and I always do that first before I wanted to release to everyone if I'm going to charge them money, right? But yeah, that's it. We'll talk about it more, but you get that, you get the Discord, you get the sharpshooter candles 4.21, and if all in TradingView, the third party automation, and the trading bots all together, probably $100 or less. So if your cost is $100, you probably would want to make at least $200 to make it worth your while, right? So it seems like that would be a very low bar to hit, right? So obviously, any type of trading is risky. It'll never be financial advice. I never give a financial advice, and it's for educational purposes only. And it's not, I would never say like it's a set it and forget it. It's full automation, but it's software, right? And it's software in the cloud. And we saw AWS cloud go down. We saw some of the brokers go down. We saw we've seen pretty much everything, right? So it's a full automation, but supervised. That's what I would recommend. Supervising it, whether you're supervising it on your laptop, your desktop, or your phone. All the apps are on your phone now, so you can literally manage everything from your phone if you're on the go. Keep an eye on it, and we have some other safeguards too with the third party management, automation management. If some signals are, the cloud is down or whatever, who knows, right? So there are some other safeguards too. But with that, that's enough. Oh wow, we already spent 15 minutes on that. So yeah, I didn't plan to do that, but just want to talk about that, and we'll go from here. So this is the Bitcoin daily chart, and it's getting let me just fix that. Yep, everything's good. Okay. This Bitcoin daily chart, right? And the high as of right now was October 6th at $126,000 Bitcoin. The probabilities continue to increase that we're going to go down and hit lower targets, right? Target 3 has not been hit yet, but it was very close. It worked very close to target 3 on was it the 17th or was it Friday the 10th? One of the wicks came all the way down on Binance to like 102. This is Coinbase. It's not showing it, right? And then we talked about, well, I covered it, posted it on X. How much confirmation do you need that there's a trend reversal, right? You have bearish divergence on the daily chart going back to May all the way up to October. 5 months of bearish divergence. You know, when else that happened? 2021, right? 2021. And then you had a lower high confirmed with a lower low, and then price came all the way back up to this upward sloping trend line, back tested it, closed lower than here. So it's looking like another lower high with a back test, rejected. And if we get a close below 106,382-ish, that's going to confirm the lower high with another lower low, right? So the higher probability is after bearish divergence, I point that out, right? Once there is a lower high, that's a higher probability for a short. Price bounces all the way back up. If you didn't close your position and you set your stop loss just above the wick, you're stopped out, right? Big surprise, big surprise. Because everybody teaches the wick, put the stop loss above the wick, right? So many people teach that. So you would have got wicked out, and then now it's reversing back down. And if you were to enter another short coming back down, that's a higher probability short because of the lower high. And if you're not into shorting, you're not swing trading, you're just longer term investor, then you can still look at this chart and say, okay, should I go to cash, right? Should I go to cash? And here are some other reasons why, right? So that's the daily chart. You move over to the weekly chart. And on the weekly chart, you have this bearish engulfing candle. You have this bearish engulfing candle, bearish engulfing candle. Price went lower on all three of those. Bearish engulfing candle, price went lower. Bearish engulfing candle, price wicked higher and then went lower, right? This is another. Now the week's not over. We still have the rest of today all the way till 5 p.m. my time. We have Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. So still looking at 3.5 days remaining. But you get a weekly candle close below 108,354, and very similar to the daily chart too. So the daily chart and the weekly chart are lining up with that. Where is it? Here? Let me 108,498. So a little bit higher. So you get a weekly close like that, and that would be a bearish engulfing candle on the weekly chart. And it's not 100% guaranteed it's going to go lower. But you had one here, you had one here, and price did go lower, right? So it just means that the probabilities continue to increase, that can continue to see it go lower and lower and lower, right? So if this top, it is a local top, if this local top turns into the top, then we're going to be looking at retesting the 200-week moving average. The 200-week moving average is currently right around 55,000. By the time it gets there, maybe in the next 6 to 9, 12 months, maybe probably 6 to 9 months, maybe, assuming this turns into a bear market. Maybe it's up at $58,000 or $60,000 by then, because it's a slow moving average, right? So if you kind of do the trajectory there, might be at like $60,000 by the time it hits it. And just to know that in the past, price has gone about 30% below the 200-week moving average with a wick. And we talked about it in detail yesterday for 45 minutes too. So that stream is still up if you want to go back and check it out. But also another reason is the 3-week chart, right? Had that bearish engulfing candle. And this is the follow through. This is a bearish engulfing candle. The next candle had a wick up and then follow through. Wick up, there's follow through. It is early in the candle. So, hit the mic. So I did a fractal the other day for the 3-week chart. If it came all the way down to like target 4, hit target 4 at $95,000. Maybe it bounces for a couple weeks and then continues lower, right? So that's something to consider. So even on the same setup, this was just a local top, and then in a couple candles later, it reversed back around. So that's what we're watching. 3-week chart, monthly chart looks awful. Huge, huge wick, huge wick, huge wick, right? Bearish engulfing candle on the monthly. This could set up as it's looking like, well, we have one more day. So this could also be a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly. So if we get a candle close below 108, 200-ish, that would also be a monthly bearish engulfing candle. None of this points to us going to $200,000 by the end of Q4. By the end of this year, none of this points to $200,000 Bitcoin or 150,000 or making a new all-time high by the end of Q4, right? Because if you look, if it closes here and takes another month, say that would be November, and then another month, that'd be December, it would take all the way till January to try to make a new all-time high, right? So by the end of Q4, it's not looking like we're going to hit a new all-time high. It's not looking like we're going to hit $150,000 Bitcoin. And it definitely doesn't look like we're going to hit $200,000 Bitcoin. So I apologize, Tom Lee. I truly, sincerely apologize, but not hitting $200,000 from the videos that I saw. So what else? What else? Should we look at some of the... Let's see. You got the trending dots all the way down here, $87,000 on the monthly. Weekly chart, sell, a buy back up into the trending dots though, and now a full sell signal coming back down. Oh, trading bot alert. So it's bearish on the weekly chart. It's been... RSI has had bearish divergence long term, going all the way back to March 2024. Made another lower high while price made a higher high here, December 2024. Another lower high on RSI with a higher high on July 2025. And another lower high on RSI with the higher price on September 2025. And then this is looking like the lower high. So on the weekly chart, this is looking like the lower high, the higher probability that the top is in. Like another reason why, right? We should put on the MACD for fun. Let's go technicals. Let's go MACD, right? MACD. So MACD also bearish divergence. Weekly chart is bearish. 2-week chart, bearish divergence, bearish. 3-week chart, crossing over, right? Fake out along the way, fake outs, and then that one last cross came all the way down, right? And then you see the bullish crossover didn't happen until February. So it's getting pretty late in the game. Monthly hasn't crossed over based off of like the regular settings, like the standard settings, but you could like change this and it would still work, right? Let's see, fast. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Like monthly chart is getting close. Like you could change the settings to be more aggressive on the monthly and it would line up more with like the 3-week chart. But without changing the settings, you can still see what we've covered over here, right? You've got the histogram divergence, right? And you've got the histogram divergence to the red candle. And this would be, say, to the red candle, right? So you had the histogram divergence as well, histogram divergence. So these are all higher time frames. We're not down here. If you recall, I was bullish at 16,800, and then I was continued to be bullish, 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 bullish post, bullish post, bullish, local top, bullish, 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 65,000. Hey, is MicroStrategy leading the way to make new all-time highs and Bitcoin is at $65,000, right? It did. So local top. Hey, this could be a local top, but there are several reasons why it could be also the top, right? And it wasn't. In hindsight, it was the local top. Came back down, and then you got one more good swing trade up to the upside, which we posted April 11th. Posted that one, and then right now it's at least the local top, but several reasons why it's the top, right? This is just reason after reason after reason. So on the monthly chart, you've got bearish divergence here. This is the sharpshooter RSI 2.0, right? You got bearish divergence on the monthly chart. You've got bearish divergence on the monthly chart. And will this, let's see, is that divergence too? No. So that could be the sneaky lower high, right? So if you got the bearish divergence followed by the sneaky lower high here on the monthly chart, the RSI sell signal confirms it, but that's pretty, it looks different, right? There's an RSI sell signal, but it's still pumped up on the monthly chart and created bearish divergence, but it was still a downtrend the whole way down, right? So that one was sneakier or trickier. This one's more like straightforward on the monthly chart. You got the bearish divergence. Then if you get the RSI sell signal at a much lower area too, which means it's more bearish, right? It seems easier to spot on the monthly chart right now. You got the bearish divergence followed by the lower high, right? So if you look back from here, from this buy signal to the let's call it here, that was about 853 days, right? 28 bars, monthly bars, right? From the buy signal here to that peak. No. 22 bars, 670 days. So this took time to play out. And you could even say it was probably from like here up. So it was shorter time. But the point is, it's not the beginning of the bull run. The beginning of the bull run was January 2023. In my opinion, that was the beginning of the bull run. Now we're going through a topping pattern, right? This is bearish divergence on the monthly with a possible lower high. A close down here at like 65 on RSI monthly is going to confirm that lower high with a lower low, right? So the odds of price at least retesting the trending dots at 87,800, the odds of price retesting target 4 on the daily chart at 93 to 95,000 have increased a lot. The odds that the bear market has begun and we're going to go see price back down to $55,000 or $60,000 have increased a lot, right? Obviously, none of this is guaranteed. Obviously, I could be wrong. I'm just literally showing you what I see in the charts, right? It's just all chart observations. So, could the chart observation change? Yeah, it could. But this is the chart observation that I'm seeing right now as we speak, right? And it's going to take time for the ship to get turned around. It's not going to turn around tomorrow. It's possible, but I think it's a very, 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 very tiny percentage. Very tiny percentage. Um, very tiny percentage. So that's Bitcoin. Do we want to look at alts? Sure, why not? So I posted this on X as well. The probabilities have increased that Ethereum is going to come back down and retest target 3, right? You start breaking below target 3, the probabilities continue to increase that we're going to hit target 4, right? So that's where we're at right now. Another close back below the trailing dots. This would looking like a strong possibility that we're going to be closing back below the upward trend line. Then why wouldn't it come back down here? Why wouldn't it come back down here? And if it starts closing below target 4, then we have to look at price hitting the 200-week moving average again. Caesar, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Good to see you back. What else? Enrique, I sold when you tweeted about this. Maybe the last time I saw your Bitcoin above 100,000. Thank you. Yeah, I think I said that when it was 110,000. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I said 110,000, right? Because we're not even at 100,000. It's probably just a typo, but I know what you mean. Yeah, the last time, this could be the last time we see price above 110,000, and then I think it spiked to 116,000, right? This chart before we get on to the other ones. Let's look at the old Wyckoff. I'm not a Wyckoff expert. I don't care to be a Wyckoff expert. But I do think as ideas or like fractal ideas, the right fractal ideas or the right Elliott wave ideas or the Wyckoff ideas, blah, 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 could add to what your actual thesis is, but not by itself, right? But not by itself. So with all the other things we talked about in consideration, first and foremost, secondary is the Wyckoff, and it's crazy, right? So we posted this. We didn't post this in hindsight. I'm starting to see the Wyckoff posts now, but we posted this on October 8th, right? Bitcoin was at 123,500. Bitcoin is at $108,553 as of right now on the Bitstamp, on this Bitstamp. All the exchanges are slightly different. Then we posted, just to zoom in, we posted here, are we going to see a bounce on October 11th, right? From looking at it over here. And it did. It bounced to 116,000. Then price came down on October 17th. It's all documented. Twitter X talked about it in the streams, all that stuff. He said, will it bounce here? And it did. Very similar to this, but it came up higher, right? Because I said, don't expect the fractal play out perfectly, right? Don't expect it to play out perfectly. But it bounced higher and came all the way back to, it spiked to 116,000 again, but did put in a lower high. So that's interesting, right? So the wick was wick to 116 again. And I said at 100 and around this area, I said $110,000. I think it was right around $110,000 on October 20th. It was probably around there where I said this. I said, this may be the last time to be able to sell your Bitcoin at $110,000. I either said it there or I said it over here, right? And price was pumping up to 116. So now we're below $110,000. That may have been your last time that you could sell Bitcoin at $110,000. Maybe not ever, right? I'm not a perma bear, right? Maybe one day it could get back up to $110,000. And maybe that there is another cycle, right? Maybe there is one more. There's never a guarantee, right? But the last cycle, 2021, and into while we were in the bear market of 2022, I kept saying, just give the market snipers one more cycle. Altcoins haven't been as good, right? But one more cycle, please give the snipers one more cycle. I said it all of 2022 in the Discord. I said it on Twitter X, right? Hopefully we get another cycle or something else, positive, or there's still swing trades and stuff like that. But there's always a possibility that there are no more cycles. That's the way I treat it, right? So maybe it's the last time you could sell your $110,000 Bitcoin until the next cycle, which could be, maybe it hits $110,000 like 2+ years from now, after it goes through its correction. Or there's always the possibility that it's the last cycle for a very long time. And I pointed out Intel, right? Intel was very far extended away from the 200-week moving average and was basically up only for 10 years, similar to Bitcoin. And then it went through 85% correction and still has never made a new all-time high. I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to do that. I'm just saying there's always a possibility. There's always a possibility. So was that the last time you could sell your Bitcoin for 110,000? Ever? I don't know about ever, but for the next couple of years, right? All things to consider. So will it bounce? It did. Will it bounce? It did. Now it's breaking. Will it close below this upward trend line? Are we here, right? Pointing that out. If we are, and it does close below, then are we going to be seeing price all the way down at target 4 around that $93,000, $95,000, which brings us over to back to Ethereum, right? If we're seeing Bitcoin at $93,000, $95,000, then will we see Ethereum at target 4 as well at $3,100, right? All things to consider. Algo is getting crushed, right? Could that be the bottom at 16 cents? Yes, I said that could be the bottom. However, I'm not into catching falling knives because I can't dodge a wrench. If anyone's seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. And I pointed out through this entire time period of October that Rose, which someone had me cover on the live stream, came all the way back to 16 cents. Not 16 cents, but all the way back down to these lows over here, which means it's not good, right? It's not good. XRP, the daily chart, putting in lower highs, putting in lower lows. Could be another lower high. We don't know. The original gangster, huh? Real talk, for sure. For sure. For sure. I gotta check something real quick. Let's see. Let me check something real quick. And we'll come back to the altcoins and hit up some more stuff. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right. We're back. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, the Bears dislike me when things are pumping and we're high-fiving and it's 16,800 Bitcoin. The perma bulls dislike what I say when, there's a lot of reasons why I could see price going lower, right? I lost a lot of cyber perma bull friends in 2022. I'll try not to be as I told you so this time around. But I already lost those friends anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna always tell you what I see on the charts, right or wrong. XRP is breaking down below the trailing dots. If you get the weekly chart, right? The weekly chart, bearish, way below the trailing dots. We've got the red trending dot now as well on the weekly chart. The trend is bearish, right? Trend is bearish. So expecting the bounces to get sold off, right? Just getting crushed on the weekly chart, right? Had that nice pump on Algo. Had the nice pump on XRP. Gave us one more pump. Bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence. Bearish divergence. Low or high. Similar to Bitcoin, right? XCN. Weekly chart. Chainlink. Eek. Oh. Let me get that dot off there. Chainlink weekly chart. Near. Oh, just getting crushed, right? Cardano coming all the way back to a down sloping 200-week moving average. We talked about this a lot yesterday, so we'll keep going over it, but thank you, by the way. Thank you. The down sloping 200-week moving average is not good, right? So, and I showed the example of Intel downward sloping 200-week moving average for like 10 years. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to, right? Because I still believe in Bitcoin, even though quantum computers are coming out. And even though it was the original, talk about OG, the original coin, right? I still believe in it, but I may change my thesis at one point on it. But I'm not blind that there are risks to Bitcoin. It had first mover advantage, but eventually that could go away. And, I was a real firm believer until there was more and more paper Bitcoin. So the more paper Bitcoin they create with, they created futures 2017. So that happened a long time ago. But the more and more they build paper Bitcoin, the less I believe in it, which is sad. Like if it would have just stayed spot forever, I probably would be like super brainwashed on Bitcoin, right? Honestly, right? I probably still be super brainwashed. But the more paper Bitcoin they build, ETFs, that's not a positive to me other than price. CVDs, perpetuals, futures, options, right? Future options, right? There's so much paper Bitcoin ETFs. There's so much paper Bitcoin that the only thing like I'm really excited about still is like the swing trades, right? But like from a true, Bitcoin is the digital gold, right? If there wasn't paper gold and gold was just gold, I would love my pet rock as well, right? If Bitcoin was spot only and never built um paper Bitcoin, I would probably be brainwashed on Bitcoin and gold if there is no paper. But the reality is paper Bitcoin, gold, paper gold, paper altcoins, all that exists, right? So it's great for swing trading. But just to like be blind believer, you know, that the paper part of it deters me from that. So that's what I'm trying to say. But if Bitcoin starts having a down sloping 200-week moving average, that is not good long term, right? That is not good long term. So we'll keep an eye on it. Right now it's up sloping, right? Right now it's up sloping. So that's good. That's a positive, right? So we'll see what happens. Ondo, there is no 200-week moving average. H bar, there is no 200-week moving average. Training dots got rejected. Expect bounces along the way. Stay in the downtrend. QNT down sloping 200-week moving average. XLM it's flat as of right now. Was down sloping. Could go back to down sloping. It's a slow moving average. Oh, this is the fractal this is the 3-week fractal that I pointed out, right? So this is the weekly chart. So if you go, this is the 3-week fractal candle. Would take you back down to here. Weekly chart. Back into target 2 at 108,000. Target 4, like I said, 93, 95,000. What are we doing on time? I got to cut this at 10 a.m. I don't see any requests. So that could be like the last 10 minutes if we run out of time. But I'm going to cut this at 10 because I've got husband benefits of Disneyland. So I've got to walk in family friends to Disneyland for free and take them to Disneyland at 11. I got to meet them at 11. So I got to get there I got to leave here at 10:30 to be safe, 10:15. So I got to be done here at 10 on the live stream, but saves them family friends. They're taking their 4-year-old and it's 3 of them. I can get 3 of them in for free. That will save with both parks, right? It probably saves them like $750, at least $600. I don't know what the prices are anymore. $600 to $750. So I'm happy to do it, right? I'm happy to do it. So, anyways, that's why I got to wrap it up. Weekly chart. This is what we talked about: bearish divergence, sell signal, came back up. Do we trust it? No. And here we are on the sell signal, right? And then if you go the 3-week chart, we already talked about it, covered it. The bearish engulfing candle, monthly chart. I don't know if we're going to get a bearish engulfing candle. It closes tomorrow, Friday at 5 p.m. See if it closes back below the 108,200. Doesn't really matter overall. I mean, it matters, but not everything else is lined up anyway. So, so that's weekly chart. And those are all the longer term targets, right? In the previous bear market, 2022, price came all the way back down and hit target 5. It was a wick down, and I think that was like $15,000 to $16,000. And I didn't buy just from hitting target 5. I still waited for a higher probability of a reversal and still got it at 16,800. So Solana back down on The top did make a new all-time high, barely. Lower high. Another pending sell on the weekly chart. And maybe it bounces again. I don't know. So that's what we're looking at. Bitcoin futures has not is also breaking down. Ethereum weekly chart. This is a bearish engulfing candle on Ethereum futures as well. Chop suey done. Ugh. Yeah. For sure. I think, but here's the thing with that. My personal thought on that is because of paper gold, right? They can keep it suppressed for indefinitely with crazy leverage. They can keep price suppressed for like as long as they want, a year, 5 years, 10 years, blah, 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 until they position themselves the way they want, right? The market bosses, whoever runs the show, right? They can do the same thing with Bitcoin. So yeah, they could suppress it for much longer than a 1-year bear market, right? While they position in. And why wouldn't they? If they have the ability to do that, they have the resources to do that. They have crazy algorithms and AI for at least a decade, probably 15 years, that they'll never release that technology. They're always going to be one step ahead of us retail. Yes, I just rolled out 2 out of 30 trading bots that I created. If I'm able to create 30 trading bots and start releasing those with all the bells and whistles for retail, imagine what the BlackRocks with Aladdin that control $10 trillion can do, right? I'm just trying to do the best on keeping up with the technology, and but we're way beyond manual trading now, right? Way beyond it. So here we are trying to keep up with the automated trading with the big players. I don't expect to beat Aladdin, right? But if we can just carve out nice niches within our possibilities, cool. But if Bitcoin didn't have paper, I would probably be brainwashed to say Bitcoin's digital gold. If gold didn't have paper gold, I'd probably be brainwashed that gold is actual gold, right? But there's paper gold. So if Bitcoin and gold both have paper forms, then everything changes with leverage. Everything changes. So, yep. Agree, though. Agree. So, Sui, man, Raul Powell was so big on Sui. Do you think he sold the top of January 2025? No way. No way he sold. I don't hear him talk about Sui anymore, but I don't really follow him that closely. But it dropped 89%. If he didn't sell the top in January 2025, which I doubt he did, maybe he removed some of his position, but he was talking highly of Sui, and then an 89% drop. And there would be no difference that, and I'm not just picking on Raul Powell. I'm just talking about like those big accounts, the influencers that say that it's a 5-year cycle now, or the M2 Global Money 2 Supply Fractal, or the Gold Fractal, right? Anything to move the goalpost to try to fit their narrative. They missed the top of 2021 because it's a local top first, and then it turns into the top. And we got 6 more minutes. So I might as well rant and rave, but it starts with the local top. If you're not selling the local top, you're not selling the top. It's impossible. The top is in hindsight. In hindsight, we can come back and say, this was the top. But that's in hindsight. So you have to go, what is the local top, right? And you go back to, I wasn't trading SUI, but let's go back to SUI and you go to the daily chart, right? The daily chart had bearish divergence followed by a lower high, followed by a lower low, followed by a lower high. Could have got out at $4.98 again. Could have got out at $5.11, followed by a lower low, followed by a lower low, lower high, lower, all the way down, right? You had bearish divergence going all the way back. Bearish divergence. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. You could do this all day, right? If you don't sell that local top, you'll never sell the top. The top is in hindsight. Anyone that tells you differently, they don't know what they're doing. Anyone who tells you differently, still, after they didn't sell the top in end of 2021, even going into 2022, they're making the same mistakes that they made, or they're not even like trading or investing real money, right? They're making the same exact mistakes as they did 4 years ago. And so the cycle continues. And this is another reason why I rolled out the 100% fully automated capability trading bots, because people get caught up in emotions. People don't block out the noise. People listen to influencers. You shouldn't even take what I say and sell your position at 110,000. You should never listen to me. I'm just pointing out observations that I make, and I'll never be 100% accurate. But the top on SUI is in hindsight. It's crashing on the weekly chart, right? It dropped 89%. It's crashing on the 3-week chart. The monthly chart has a sell signal. It's going to close back below the trending dots. We had a RSI sell signal on the monthly chart way back in February 2025, right? It's all there. It's all there. It's not on chain. The on chain guys were wrong. They admit it. They were wrong. We got 2 more minutes, so we'll wrap it up. Last thought. The on chain guys were wrong at end of 2021, all the way into like April 2022. I pointed it out. I pointed it out. I pointed it out over and over and over again. I don't have the time and energy to do it again this time, but I'll do the live stream. So whoever's watching, this is for you. Whoever's not, we'll see you in the replies. The reply guys tell me that I'm retarded. They call me retarded. They call me dumb. They call me stupid. I've heard it and seen it all. Whatever. Not trying to convince you. Just showing you what I see. SUI's in a bear market. Fetch.ai is in a bear market since, was it the weekly chart? March 2024. SUI's like right here, right? $1.20, January 2025. Then it goes to the 200-week moving average, battles it, and now it's what, from the 200 went all the way down. It went down 80% lower than the 200-week moving average. So if SUI is here, is it going to become chop SUI down here, right? So that's about it. What else? Trump, dog. I still see people talking about dog. It's crazy. What's it doing? Dog. Oh, I have it on here still. People are still talking about dog going to the moon. The top was December 2024, right? People are still talking about, influencers are still talking about it. The top of dog was May 2021. Oh, this is Doge. Sorry. So this is Doge, right? Let's go to dog. Where's dog at? We got to look at dog because I just talked about it. Dog, is it dog tether? Oh yeah, that's Dogecoin. Is that it? Uh, dog euro Kraken. Maybe this is it. I don't know. Let's look at it. Is this dog? Yeah, people are still talking about it going to the moon, right? I don't know if that's the right one, but it probably looks as identical. Let's see, what's this one? Yeah, I mean, whatever. You get the point. So, and then Rose, what we talked about on the weekly chart, right? Came all the way back. I don't. Is that's Rose Bank? That's the wrong one. There's a Rose on here. Anyways, we'll wrap it up. We're at an hour, anyways. I do want to take a look at the Nasdaq though. Nasdaq. Is this the top? I don't. It's too early to call that. But there is bearish divergence. Is this going to be a local top? Right. It could be. You got the bearish divergence. There's no lower high as of yet. But you do have bearish divergence. The warning signs are there. Bitcoin corrected before the Nasdaq did in 2021. So the warning signs are there. Just keep an eye on that. Gold, cover this when it was prices back here, October 22nd, that hit some targets, but could see some bearish divergence if this is the top. But the higher time frames are ultra bullish still, so expect bounces. Bottom may not be in on gold. Too early to call it. A lower high would be a higher probability, whether that's over here or there's bearish divergence or hits some targets to the downside and then makes a new all-time high. So we don't know yet. On gold, what else? T-Doc is crazy. Still hasn't filled that gap. PayPal, got rejected on the down sloping 200. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Right? TLT. Oh, let me get back on here. Oh, trading bot. What else? MicroStrategy. Oh boy. There it be. There it is. There it be. Top was in. I said the top could be in, but it's in hindsight, right? It's in hindsight. I said the canary in the coal mine that the top could be in way back here. Price came down 55%. It's not likely that the bull run continues onward. It's happened. I've seen it happen, that it did reverse around and stocks did make a new all-time high. Tesla had like a 65% correction one time in a big bull run and then went on to soar 4,000%. But it doesn't happen very often. So I was expecting just a bounce, and it bounced nicely all the way to $458. And then once it starts rolling back down, it's bearish on the weekly chart. It's coming into the neckline. You get a weekly close below this confirmation / neckline, whatever you want to call it. And then I would be expecting I'm already expecting to come back and retest the 200-week moving average. This is the canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin. It was the canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin even back in 2021, like 6 to 8 months before Bitcoin went into a bear market. This would be like 10 or 11 months. 10 or 11 months going into a bear market for Bitcoin. So it's all lining up. I think many people will be surprised. Not the market snipers, of course, but all of you, of course, won't be surprised because I post it all the time. But when MicroStrategy is back below 200, and then 137, and possibly a lot lower than that. Who knows, right? We'll just take it level by level and not get ahead of ourselves. But that's the Adam and Eve double top pattern that I pointed out weeks ago. I don't even know now, weeks ago, right? But I pointed out the top was in way back here. I had a question mark back then. I was like, is the top in? The local top for sure. And then in hindsight, I removed the question mark that the top was definitely in. So I don't have a magic crystal ball. Sorry. What else? What else? I think that's it. Tesla, Amazon. Oh yeah, Meta. Big gap down. Big gap down. I think it's like 17% gap, new gap. But you got all these older gaps too, right? So again, bearish divergence doesn't work. I know. Because you don't know how to do it, right? But I spent an hour on the recorded coaching that used to exist, and it's still there for people who are still in recorded coaching. But I covered RSI divergence with target prices that I've never seen anyone else come up with before. It's one of my claim to fames if I have anything. If I have one claim to fame, is that on divergence, bullish or bearish, there's two things that could happen on divergence. It could just clear the divergence with price and hit a certain specific target area, which I've never seen anyone teach. You can't read it in a book, whatever. It's all in the 1 hour record coaching video on divergence alone, or it's a full trend reversal. There's two ways to look at divergence, in my personal opinion. And one of them is it's not a full trend reversal, but price could go and hit a certain target area based off of divergence, which is crazy to unlock that knowledge, right? And it's only from me obsessing and staring at charts that, to my knowledge, I discovered that, and nobody else, to my knowledge, has ever looked at it that way, right? That's my one claim to fame. And it's still on the recorded coaching video. The recorded coaching is no longer on the website. I said it was going away, but it's still grandfathered into all those who are still in it. But yeah. Yep. So that's it. Meta, bearish divergence, followed by a lower high, right? Followed by a lower high. That's the higher probability. Confirmed lower high. A close down here is going to confirm that lower high. And so the saga continues, right? Fill that gap, right? Bearish divergence. The probabilities are increasing that we're going lower on Meta. So that's that. With that, hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, I got to get rocking and rolling. Got to get ready for. I am ready. I got my wife got me this Disneyland shirt. I don't wear Disneyland. I don't love Disneyland. I hate standing in line. I hate battling the crowds. But this is what you do for family and friends, right? Give the kids what they want. Take them to Disneyland, fight the crowds. The stroller gang there is for real. And with that, thanks everyone. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for reposting, sharing with your family and friends. And we will see you on tomorrow's live stream on TGIF. And this is Chief Baby Officer J.O. signing off. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day. Adios.